Steve's clapping.
He's just happy to be here.
We should bring outfit changes.
Rotate.
We could take turns clapping. Like, whose turn is it to clap this time? You know, like that type of thing.
I don't.
Ooh, that would be a
Steve's
fun
is,
game.
Clap for
pretty
credit.
Excessive. Sorry, is 3 times the charm
3 times is a charm because then it's easier to link up the waveforms.
on my drive here. And I thought it'd be a good James question because he does words.
I feel like I'm not going to know the answer to this.
Well, I don't know if you are either. But so I was thinking about podcast and the origin of the name. Okay. So if you think of pod, right? So like dolphins are in pods, which means multiple dolphins. Okay. So using that, podcast would mean multiple people casting out. Okay. That's in my head how that would work. But then wouldn't any other podcast where it's just one person, because sometimes there are just one persons, wouldn't that be like a solo cast? Can they be called a podcast? I just am curious.
Solo cast.
Right?
So the name.
Sounds like a fishing rod company, doesn't it?
Kind
Like,
of.
This is
put
just
that sticker on my truck.
what I've heard is that the phrase podcast cast comes from iPod. That it didn't exist before the iPod.
Oh, that's true, because podcasts weren't really even popular when the pod was around.
Right. But it started, it was like a radio cast, but they called it a podcast because it's,
Yeah, they did.
So it was invented by Apple.
I think the
Isn't
For
everything?
consensus.
phrase, yeah. I don't quote me on that, but that's what I've heard.
I like James's origin story better.
I like that you had dolphins. And well, did we ever hear James's?
Oh, I was going to tell you guys that podcasts were actually invented in, like it was 2001 by a gentleman named Harvey C. Pod. He actually gathered up a group of his dorm mates, and he was recording one of the first audio transcriptions and audio projections casts to the interweb. At the time, the web was just sort of coming of age. It was, post.com boom. And there was this growing need for audio content, and people were getting iPods, and, everyone was getting internet in their homes, and people were starting to consume this new type of content, and we're just intrigued by
Is that back when like MySpace ruled the world?
just after that
wasn't
time.
yet.
Yeah. YouTube wasn't a thing. Facebook was just getting off the ground type of thing. So
I can just imagine
Mr. Pod and his friends were
2001. Harvey's going by Harvey C. Pod. Come here, gentlemen. I have a new technology I want to share with you.
And we will call it podcast.
They were actually recording onto wax cylinders first and through the gramophone style. Is really the golden age.
The golden age of 2001.
It's the golden age of podcasting. Okay, the standard had been
Well,
set.
But it hasn't.
We're just wasting electrons now. Like,
I know. I always tell my grandparents that podcasts are like the modern radio show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the modern Gunsmoke or whatever when you listen to Superman. One of my grandpa's big into Westerns. The amount of knowledge I have about old Western TV shows is probably not something I should admit. I know so much.
no, coming back to Royal Credit Union's podcast, Money Donuts.
Money donuts.
Were
Yeah.
you going to tell me you were impressed by my dolphin knowledge?
I just was happy that you worked dolphins into a conversation about podcast.
Well,
Okay.
do you,
So dolphins
I-
aside,
yeah, but
Money Donuts is here.
you don't want to know what a group of geese is called?
A flock.
A gaggle.
A gaggle.
Gaggle.
Do you know what a group of hippos is called?
No.
A bloat.
Oh, I love it.
So
Bloat.
you
This
get
is kind of like that time
all
we did
kinds of
that
knowledge.
Animal personality, your animal money, spirit animal, whatever we called that. Remember that?
What do you call it for Money Donut podcast hosts together?
Pod Squad.
Terrible.
the Pod Squad. All right.
Sprinkles.
Soon to be 3 podcasts.
Stop it. People like me. They'd be sad. Okay, James, to the actual point.
No, I was going to bring us back around and say, like, podcasts are just a cool way to be conversational and to share knowledge with people in a off-the-cuff sort of humorous way sometimes, or to have a conversation that you wouldn't expect to get from your financial institution. So bringing us back to the purpose of Money Donuts as a podcast from Royal Credit Union.
Is to be funny.
No, it's sharing that financial knowledge.
Yeah.
Did not listen to him at all.
Yeah, and it can be both.
So with this
To make you giggle.
fun conversation
Like a
today,
gaggle.
what are we talking about?
We are introducing Alexis, the newest Money Donuts podcast co-host.
It's just, she's been with us before. They got a taste.
Shoot.
But now she's permanent.
Oh no.
She wasn't
Oh,
permanent
no.
before.
Oh no. The temp is here to stay.
Oh,
Just
no.
kidding. Just teasing.
It's like when you keep an intern.
Yeah.
Did you say you didn't get to talk last time?
No, I just said I didn't talk a whole lot.
Oh, that's surprising. Mhm.
Well, and we had Nicole on, and Nicole talks a lot if you know her.
Oh, she's the genius. Like anything you
Yeah.
say, like
Nicole knows all
won't
the
compare.
things.
Yeah.
But I think what you did say was very much a value add to the show. So
Well, thanks.
That was a pretty judgmental, like the stakes were high there. Just wanted to point that out. So good job. Like-
she did add value and knowledge.
Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree. I'm just saying, like,
trying
had
to-
you said anything else, like,
Well, I
potential
wasn't
was there.
going to like
Be
say
like,
anything
I wasn't
mean.
sure. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
our HR department listens to this. For heaven's sake.
It's a high compliment because Cooper usually tells me that I should talk less during the podcast after we
Yeah,
finish
could you
recording.
just contribute a little bit less,
Yeah.
actually? Yeah.
Please.
Steve, I always love the nuggets you bring.
There we go.
Keep them going.
All right, let's
Steve
go.
Nuggets. Like Cheez-Its.
Should I introduce myself? Should I
Sure.
talk about myself?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do that.
You're a host now. What do you want the people to know?
What do the people want to know?
Favorite football team?
Packers,
Go Pack Go.
but more into basketball because of my husband.
So who's your favorite basketball team?
He's a Wolves fan, but I'm a Bucks fan.
House divided.
Stay loyal to
Nice.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. Well, he grew up in Minnesota, so it's like
So, I mean, he's
hometown
a Vikings
allegiance.
fan.
He is. Yes.
Oh.
Mhm.
Goodness sake.
Yes. But I've been at Royal for almost 3 years now. It'll be 3 years in May. I started out in one of our offices, actually, our Eau Claire South location. Started out as a member account representative, worked my way through the levels because at different levels you do different things. I believe Robin talked about that on a couple episodes ago. And then opportunity opened up to transfer over to the marketing team. So I'm now the marketing content coordinator. I work very closely with James, doing a lot of copywriting, and it's a lot of fun being a part of that team. And now I get to do this.
Yay. Which is super fun. Speaking of Robin, in case the listeners want to know, because they enjoyed that episode so much, she got a promotion.
She did.
So she's one of our branch managers now, which means she can help you even more, probably. So recommend, I think, Eau Claire South. Is
West,
that-
Southwest.
Eau Claire
Eau Claire
Southwest.
Southwest. So over by where Shopco used to be. If you want to go chat with her.
Well, welcome.
Welcome,
We're
Alexis.
excited. Yeah.
Anything else you want to share? Are you coffee, tea?
Neither. I'm a water gal. I spice it up with lemonade every now and again.
Ooh.
I'm a big cat person. I love my cats. I have 2 of them.
She does love
So
cats.
I will probably talk about them a lot.
You're also very creative. You like to create things.
I do.
Mhm.
Yeah. I do like vendor markets and craft shows. Always swap in what I'm interested in and trying new crafts. And yeah.
And favorite donut? That's the most important question. Oh, no, that's not the most important question.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
No. So my favorite donut, it's the raspberry jelly filled, but rather than any icing or anything being on the outside, it's rolled in cinnamon sugar.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Wait. I thought they were only rolled in powdered sugar.
You can get them any which way.
What?
And you actually like the raspberry, like the seeds in the jelly? Or do
Yeah.
I like that too.
you like the seeds?
That
in
seems to
you
me more
guys?
authentic and less.
There's the door.
Do you also both drink orange juice with pulp in it?
Yes.
What?
Love pulp.
Do you get the high pulp? That blew
Okay,
me away when
the
I saw that in the
high
store.
pulp-
I was like, who's getting the high pulp?
I can deal with some
They take
pulp.
the pulp out of the no pulp and they put it in the high pulp jar.
My
What in the
Nana
world?
gets the high pulp, and it is like a paste, first off. And she says, you just add a little water to it. And I said, I
What?
don't think that's the point.
It's less expensive. Like, you can make a gallon go further by
Yeah,
adding
exactly.
water. Oh, wow.
But
Now I like it even more.
Oh, wow.
Oh, good. I don't know. I do not recommend that one. I'm like a mid pulp person. I don't know what the levels are.
I'm a little worried that you've never actually seen a donut the questions that you ask sometimes, like, is it really a sugar? Like, do they really put it in sugar? I thought it was just powder.
Okay.
I've
So
only ever seen one with
the
powdered
most
sugar,
the
Steve.
most important question that Steve was about to ask you is, who's your favorite original Money Donuts podcast host? Am I right, Steve? Is that what you're going to ask?
I wasn't, but now I'm interested.
Well, now the pressure's on. The pressure's on.
You can answer that off the air too.
There's only
Yep.
no. Let's answer it on the air.
Take a rain check.
Let's do it.
I'll say follow us on YouTube, subscribe, and you'll find out.
Ooh.
Okay, fine.
I love
A
it.
teaser.
That was good.
What
like
was
it.
the actual most important question?
Does she like apple fritters?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not picky. Yeah.
Cooper is giving the side eye.
I'll take it, but it wasn't the most enthusiastic response.
She's like, I need
It's definitely not my treat of choice, but if someone offered me one, I would be grateful and I would enjoy it.
That's not the commitment Cooper's looking for. She's like, if you're team fritter, you have to be like out on the street waving a sign about it.
Somebody gave me a fritter, I'd be like, thanks for the paperweight.
Thanks for this piece of trash. That's what I thought you'd say.
No, I wouldn't be
Alexis-
that mean.
I forget how good of a person you are. Like, that was just such a good example of her actual, like, internal being.
The fritter conversation?
Again with the judgment. Had you said anything else again? Wow.
But she is really just that nice that she's like, I would be so grateful if they gave that to me. Even if she didn't like it, probably.
Yeah, that's true.
I know, she's a good human.
All
I don't know
right.
what to say to that. I'm
Welcome
sorry.
to the Money Donuts podcast. Look forward to hearing from you in future episodes.
Good. Me too. I'm happy to be here.
Officially
Yay.
welcomed.
What do y'all think about ending each episode with like instead of an audio something, we all do like a signature dance?
Signature move, like we're fighter jet pilots.
Yes.
Are we going to verbalize
I
what
don't
is
think so.
happening?
The pinky up? Is that what that was?
Because what
Did you
about
just have your pinky up?
No,
Uh,
I itched my face.
Oh, okay.
what about the people that don't use their eyes to consume the podcast?
All right. I think we could
I don't want anyone to consume anything with their eyes.
I think we could do it visually and then state what we did so that people know.
Okay.
And do we have to give the action a corresponding sound effect?
But if there was a
Bonus points if you do have a sound effect.
what if there's a huge disconnect? Like we're like disco, and Steve is doing something totally different.
That would feel right.
Steve's
for
doing the
dynamic
cha-cha.
of this podcast.
But the thing is, you pick it now and then you have to keep it forever. So after at all podcasts going forward, we have to have a signature move to end the podcast.
Let's revisit this
Why?
at a later date.
Cooper's like, I gotta
There's
practice.
There's too much pressure.
She's like, I gotta practice in the car on the way back to Menominee.
To wrap it up, I'll give you a little time for your move, but maybe next episode I want to see us all ending with we're cutting. That was a donut hole. Ready, go.